Just days left for the economic survey for the current year to be tabled in Parliament. The government today announced that it has appointed Dr. V Anantha Nageswaran as the Chief Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Finance. Nageswaran, who assumed charge today, has been a part-time member of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister of India from 2019 to 2021. He has taught at several business schools and institutes of management in India and in Singapore, and he has also published extensively. He was the Dean of the IFMR Graduate School of Business and a distinguished visiting professor of economics at Kriya University. Nageswaran holds a postgraduate diploma in management from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and a doctoral degree from the University of Massachusetts.
Very happy to have Air India back in the Tata Group.
The Air India disinvestment transaction is closed. The shares have been transferred to the Talis.
Tatas are firmly back in the Air India cockpit. After nearly 7 decades, the Tata Group has officially taken over Air India from the government. In this special show, we're going to give you a sneak peek into the upgrades that the Maharaja is likely to get. And there are many of them. To begin with, the much spoken about enhanced in-flight services, but also improved software and training in revenue management. Better utilization of fleet by improving supply of spares. Improved on-time performance, something that will be much talked about. Cargo operations to be streamlined, and corporate culture among employees will be closely looked at and revamped. These are some huge changes that are in the offing for the national carrier that was struggling to stay on its feet. Now moving on to what's in store for passengers. Better and more efficient service, improved tech for ticketing and operations, better choice of food and meals on board. Tatas will also be using their expertise in various sectors to enhance customer experience, from timely flights, smart staff and world-class service. Tatas are, of course, known for their hospitality. Now, while the government has disinvested Air India, the 12,000 employees will have to be retained by the Tatas. So what do employees do now that the Tatas have taken charge? 10,000 employees will be retrenched for 1 year. They will be eligible for voluntary retirement from the 2nd year. Employees can stay in the company colonies for up to 6 months. Will continue to get benefits like PF and gratuity. Retired employees will continue to get benefits as well. Negotiations with unions to resolve pending demands are ongoing. Let's examine the financials, but before we do that, as the Tatas get down to the task of reviving Air India, there are some key questions on what can flyers expect from an airline run by the Tatas, who already have 2 other airlines, Air Vistara and Air Asia currently. For more on that, we're joined by Jitendra Bhargava, former Executive Director, Air India, and the author of the book, Descent of Air India. Welcome, Mr. Bhargava, and it's great to have you for this discussion. Let me begin by asking you, what can passengers expect? Because it's much talked about, this is now an airline that's going to have enormous market share and is going to make a huge difference to flyers.
See, there are 2 aspects that passengers must focus on. One, those who were patronizing Air India, that they will have a more reliable airline, consistency in onboard services and ground handling. So there is a big gain for the existing passengers. And for those who have not been patronizing Air India, they will have another option. Many of the young people were not even looking Air India as an option simply because it was government owned. They had a certain perception of the airline, and this perception will change. So therefore, there is a lot for the passengers thanks to this takeover of Air India by Tatas, because you have a reliable airline and a good quality airline, which will not only give a run for the money for the other Indian carriers, but also international carriers, the Gulf and the Southeast Asian carriers, which have hitherto been dominating the Indian skies.
In terms of product quality, Mr. Bhargav, what can we expect? Do you think Air India will reach the kind of level that we see with Air Vistara in terms of service, including for in-flight entertainment, for instance, or better meals?
You will have to divide the product into two aspects. Certain aspects can be attended to in a matter of weeks, like the food, the wine on board, customer attention by the cabin crew, etc., can be done very fast. Because all that they require is to re-engineer the work practices of cabin crew on board, airport staff, etc. And once they've done it, they will deliver. Because what unfortunately happened is that a lot of cabin crew have been in the service industry for long, but did not have the enough motivation, I would say, coming in because of the various kinds of salary cuts and everything that was imposed on the staff, etc., by cash-starved Air India. So once you treat the staff properly and professionally, you will see them delivering. So this is what they can do it in the short run. But yes, as far as the quality of aircraft ambience is concerned, it will take time. And fortunately, we are in COVID times, but not full capacity is being deployed at the moment. So they will have a certain amount of aircraft, certain number of aircraft on ground, which can be taken up for servicing and improving the hardware on board the flights, including in-flight entertainment.